Hey guys, welcome to Kunal Call. I'm Kunal Bhatia and I'm joined today by Shiv, Aditya, and
What's up,
we are
guys?
big football fans and we can't wait for the Premier League to start. So thank you guys for coming to the podcast. I'd like to start with
Thank
Aditya.
you.
Who's going to win the league and who will be in the top four? Go ahead.
I mean, number one, Arsenal. I'd say number two, also Arsenal. Number three, Arsenal. Number
Yep.
four, Arsenal, our favorite spot. But realistically speaking, I feel Chelsea will be number one. Um, Liverpool number two. City number three, and probably between Spurs, Leicester, United, Arsenal. That's my fourth spot. I can't decide it honestly.
What about you, Shiv?
So I would say I'd kind of stick to the similar table that we had last year, but I think just we will have a different winner this season. I don't think Liverpool is going to win it again. I think Chelsea and City, hand on heart, are top favorites. But United definitely in the top four. Sorry, Adi, but I don't see Arsenal making it to the top four,
Of
as
course.
always. Or maximum, you might just secure fourth, and in that case, we'll be third for sure. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now.
Regarding Arsenal, I want to ask you, Aditya, that I have seen Mikel Arteta making a lot of progress with the players he has. They are a bunch of shit players. They're not great enough. But even with those shit players, he's actually making some change. You can see them playing much better. And
True.
obviously, Aubameyang is there and he's scoring goals. If Aubameyang signed the contract, which is more likely that he's going to sign, do they need to keep signing players? Like you're seeing with United now, they're going for Sancho and they're going for a left back in Regulon or in Telles. Do you think Arsenal will spend that money? Because obviously you had Unai Emery. He didn't have a great like a record at Arsenal because he was about to be in the top four. He lost the Europa League and stuff. But do Arsenal will Arsenal sign players because they have a good manager, a very good manager? Will they sign and do they need to sign?
See, do they need to sign? I mean, of course, I don't think so. Any team in this Premier League can compete for the trophy if they don't sign. The reason why I did put Chelsea on top is because of their six signings that they've done this season. Secondly, will Arsenal sign? I don't know. I mean, they've signed Willian, they've signed Gabriel, but we need bigger names. We need bigger names at the club. I think so. Everyone at Arsenal's like all the fans are eagerly waiting for Aubameyang to sign his contract. Uh, but I think so. We can see a big change this year with Mikel Arteta. I mean the players do matter, but he has turned around quite a few players. One of the biggest turnaround I've seen is in Zaka, a guy who was almost going to leave the club in Jan, and now he's literally our midfield. He's playing every game in and out. So they would need to sign, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. Let's see. I mean, Partey. I don't know. It's a tough thing with Arsenal. They've never signed big guys. I mean, we signed Pepe 72 million. I don't
And
know.
he's on your bench.
After that, I think so. They just realize it's no point. Signing people
Yeah.
isn't our thing. So
No,
let's
but
see, man. We have Saka, we have Martinelli. These young
But
lads coming up, much better than Greenwood. Obviously, I mean,
no,
like,
no. I believe
come
mm,
you
on,
have an
man,
opinion.
come on.
yeah,
But
Sorry.
Saka is a very emerging talent because he should be given more games to play in an attacking zone. He can't be a left back. He needs to attack more. If he wants to
true,
be at the level of
true.
Greenwood has been attacking all the time. He's come off the bench and he scored goals. So that's an advantage to Greenwood in a way. I want to talk to you about Aditya about the ownership that you have about the owners. Are you tired of them? Do you want them to go? What's the viewpoint of an Arsenal fan?
As an Arsenal fan, obviously we want them out. We want the money coming in. We want all our I mean all the fans. We have these fan pages trying to like put up banners and fly banners across games, so you can see that all these fans desperately want someone to put in the money. It doesn't seem like, I mean, the Cronky doesn't show up to any of these games. So he doesn't comment on anything. So I don't know. We want him out. I don't think he's going to go out because he's making his money. He's comfortable. So why would he? I mean, at the end of the day, he is a businessman. But as a football fan, you obviously want development, you want improvement, you want funding. But I don't see that happening with Arsenal. Honestly, that's where I trust Arteta is because I feel like he's probably going to take a different route where he would probably develop the players, train them, and sort of adapt to the situation than trying to just come in like Pep and change the entire team in a matter of 2 seasons. So let's see, let's hope. I mean, and coming back, sorry, before we move on about Saka, let's be honest. I mean, that guy plays left back, left wing, right back, right wing, center mid, right mid. Put him as a striker and probably score. What
Jack
can
of all
Greenwood do?
trades,
Just
master of none.
yeah, bro. That's the problem with Greenwood. He can just stand in one
Yeah,
position,
sure,
and
sure.
that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
So let's see,
Hmm.
man. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. I'd like to
Fair
go to
enough.
Shiv now. Shiv, you're a United fan. I'm a United fan. We are hearing about this last season has been very. It's been a roller coaster because so many people wanted Ole Gunnar to
Absolutely.
go out. Everyone wanted
Absolutely.
that he should go and stuff. I never went to that side. I was like, give him time, and he got Bruno, and he really
Yeah.
changed everything. And
Yeah.
now with Van der Beek signing and Sancho most probably will happen, and
Yeah.
another left back. How do you think the United's progress has been since Ole has come in? Since he's been made permanent, actually.
Right. So, firstly, what I feel is that United have made some fantastic signings, and Bruno definitely being right at the top. I think the way he came in, he just changed the whole dimension of the team. The entire dynamic looks a lot more solid. They feel like we've got that old United flair back, where we've got Rashford, Martial, Greenwood as three young, quick, talented, outright goal scorers. So I overall like the team a lot. I feel like there's a lot of stability now in our team, and hopefully this needs to, of course, carry on. But I feel we do need a few more signings because our bench strength is not as strong as what it should be. So I would say United right now remind me a lot of the Liverpool of last season, where if you don't have Salah, Mane, Firmino playing, then you're in a little bit of a you're a little bit confused. You're not sure of who's going to come on and really do the business for you. Other than that, I think we're the growth has been steady, and I feel like Ole needs time, and he's shown good enough results. And more importantly, he's brought that old United flair and that style of football that
I know
if
what a style,
you're
right? Just scoring
yeah
penalties, right? That's a
yeah
crazy
it's
But
style of football you guys
style is
but
have,
it's
man.
about
winning.
it's
Style is
about
winning
scoring them
3-0,
also.
4-0. Yeah, exactly. Style's about winning 3-0, 4-0. And now I feel like if we're going to play at home, supposing against a Brighton or any other ordinary team, if we are going to be 2-0 up, it's not going to be just trying to win the game, play it out, be safe. Now it's 3, 4, 5. And that's what I love watching, because as a Man United fan, that's what I'm used to. So yeah, I mean, for me, I'm pretty happy with the progress, and now it's just about building on it, because I wouldn't want to see us regress now. I just want to see us progressing, because ever since we lost Ferguson, it's been such a roller coaster ride with change of managers, lots of bad signing, lots of bad recruitment. What I like about the Jadon Sancho situation, since you guys actually touched upon it, is United made it clear that the amount Dortmund was asking for was just too much. So I don't think United has actually put their foot down in the transfer market earlier and made it a point and said that, okay, we are not paying this amount of money because it's crazy. So I feel like there is a direction to which Ollie is planning to take us, and I I'm all in for Ollie on the wheel. So
Okay, so you're Ole on the wheel, some are
yep.
Ole out and stuff. That's everyone's opinion. So let's talk about the Golden Boot. Who will win the Golden Boot this year? Aditya, we can start with you.
I mean, let's be honest. This is where Aubameyang actually has been consistently providing returns. He won it once already. He was one goal away from this season. Uh, Probably with Willian to probably support him, and I see Aubameyang up there. But realistically, I wouldn't be shocked to see a Werner. I wouldn't be shocked to even see a Rashford or a Martial. I mean, As much as I hate United and I hate the fans, man, Bruno, Martial, and Rashford are some world class players in my opinion. Um, so let's see. Probably if Aguero gets running again, and I don't know, man. There are quite a few forerunners this year. I mean, we have Kane also.
Yep.
Danny Ings provided great returns
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year. Jimenez can be lethal. Let's see. I mean, it all depends on how these guys play, man. Can't say anything to be honest.
So, Shiv, what's your opinion on this?
Um, I'd say for me personally, who I see as the main Golden Boot contender this year, I feel like Harry Kane's going to have a really good season because I feel like if he stays fit,
Yeah.
now it's been 2 seasons where he's had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. He's always been in and out of the team due to some pretty bad injuries. So I think Kane is going to have a really good season, and I think Jose, he is going to make Kane become the player that we all know that he can go to. I mean, if you guys have been watching the Spurs documentary, you know in that he's told Kane that, look, I want to take you to the Ronaldo level, the Messi level, and why not? Why can't you do that? So I feel like there is a lot of potential in Kane, and then of course we'll always have consistent people like Vardy's a machine, Ings, Jimenez, and along with Kane, the other contenders for me would be, of course, be Aubameyang. It goes without saying he's a fantastic goal scorer. As much as I know it brings a huge grin to Adi's face, and there's a lot of United Arsenal banter between us, but yeah, I'd say Kane, Aubameyang, uh, Werner, Martial, not so much Golden Boot, and of course, I don't think we can ever discount Salah. I think he gets a lot of flack because we just expect him to be like this machine who's going to score 35, 40 goals every season. But that's crazy. I mean, I still feel like he is always a contender for the Golden Boot.
So, we have some questions for both of you. Someone has
Okay.
commented.
Okay.
Mr. Kevin has commented for Arsenal that Over will be a game changer for Arsenal. So, do you think that will happen, Aditya?
Who Oba or yeah?
Or, sorry.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I haven't seen him play much, but from
Hmm.
what I've read and heard, that he is one of the next big creative midfielders that's there. I mean, 60 million is his asking price, so
That's
obviously,
a lot of money, man.
uh, that's a lot of money. That's true. Let's see. I hope he comes in. It would be great. To be honest, as much as people hate to hear this, I would really love to see Ozil play. He did play in his preseason match against Aston Villa, which we lost. But you never know. I mean, what if Arteta decides to bring him in? But we do need the number 10, in all honesty. So
But
whether it's Ozil,
I want to ask you a question about Ozil. He's such a
yeah.
good playmaker. Why is he not playing? He's getting 350,000 a week. He's sitting and chilling, and he's not being used. He's such a brilliant player.
I mean, I think so. It all comes down nowadays to the football, to the footballer's attitude. He had the same issue with Emery. He had the same issue with Arteta, where I feel like I mean, the thing is, w- with Ozil, he doesn't run up and down. His work rate's pretty poor compared to other players in the league. So that's something which I feel the Premier League demands right now. You see
Yeah.
every team running up and down, and honestly, I feel like even if Ozil doesn't run up and down, he can still provide at least 10 to 12 assists a season if he's consistently playing. But he just needs the chances. Honestly, I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. He gets into a fight on the street with someone, he's off for a few games,
I think
manager
he needs
changes,
to
he's
be
off for a
sold.
few games. He
That's
won't
my
be sold.
honest
I mean, he has
opinion.
one more year, he's done. I mean, we
But I
just want to
feel
offload him right.
I feel like, quoting what you just said right now, 350,000 pounds a week for 10 to 12 assists in a year. I mean, if that's your expectation from a guy who you're paying that many wages, that much money, I think he's sort of outgrown Arsenal. I don't think Ozil
Yeah.
wants to be there. It's like that same Pogba situation where I feel like somebody like a Bruno coming in really helped Pogba because Pogba
Correct.
had somebody to
Sure.
play with. Pogba had a change in. mentality, attitude. He knew that now I am not expected to be the main guy, so I need to consistently perform well. I don't have any sort of excuses now that, oh, now it's just all the burdens on my shoulders. I need to do this. So personally, I feel like Ozil needs to go, and Arsenal needs a revamp. In my opinion, I would, I'd be happy just for the sake of Arsenal fans that if he's sold and they can buy somebody else, some other playmaker. I feel there's no doubt that he is a fantastic player, but if he doesn't want to play, he just doesn't want to play. I think that's a
True.
Yeah, yeah.
common trend we've seen with him.
Yeah, but if a player doesn't want to give everything he has, then he has to go. The manager
Yeah.
will not keep that player. So there's another question from Kevin. That's a real question. He's like, when is United winning the Premier League? It's been a while. Okay,
Yep,
okay,
yep. It has been a while. I'd say, Kevin, definitely in the next 2 seasons, I can see
correct.
us winning the Premier League. I feel hand on heart this season still maybe a little bit too early. We'll be there
Correct.
contending very closely, really pushing the likes of City, Liverpool, Chelsea. But yeah, I feel in the next 2 to 3 seasons, I can definitely see us being back on that winners podium where we've been for so long, and the greatest Premier League team. It goes without
I think
saying.
with signing Sancho will be a big statement right now, because next year I
Absolutely.
think Barcelona will be there for him, Madrid will be there for
Yeah.
him, Chelsea also might go because they're spending crazy money. So United
Yep.
need to get that kind of a player. He's available and he wants to come. Yesterday, Fabrizio Romano, an agent who's always reliant on transfers, said Sancho and his agent have no problem. It's not the clubs.
It's
Even
just
if
a
United
transfer
need to pay
fee.
more money
Yeah.
now, they
Right.
have to pay. They need to win. We have. It's
Right.
been such a long time winning the Premier
Yeah.
League, and with Bruno, with Pogba, with Martial, with Rashford, with Greenwood, with look at
Yeah.
the depth now. Van de Beek, we have
Yeah.
Mattis, Scott, Fred. But it's the centre back for me is a little bit situation where you
Yes.
need a centre back, but I
You
don't think
pointed that
he'll
out.
come
Well.
this season.
You
Next
need two,
season,
man.
when you're saying in
Maguire,
two
80
seasons,
million. I
I
mean,
mean,
you really think
he's not worth
Maguire is
80
the 80
million, but he's
million?
better than what he had.
yeah, exactly. I feel like at that point the market is obviously inflated, and there's always a certain. I feel like the price of a player just goes up easily by 15, 20 million just because a Man United is now trying to sign that player. I feel like we also
Yeah.
somehow aggravate our own situation and kind of inflate the price of a player. Like reports recently suggested that there were talks of David Brooks, somebody
Yeah.
who's been a
Bournemouth.
good player for yeah, Bournemouth. And I mean, the quotes were something like 40 million for just for Brooks, and that's crazy. But
Yeah.
that's just because United is trying to sign him. I feel otherwise it would be any other club going to a Bournemouth for that. They'll be like, yeah, fine. Why don't you take 15, 20 also? We'll be really happy with that. So I think that's something that we can't really control. That's just the way the market is.
True, true.
Okay, so
I
now
mean,
let's
Nathan
talk about
Ake
the
for
fantasy.
41 million. Sorry, but yeah, on
Who?
that point, Nathan Ake for 41 million to City. Do you
Yeah,
guys think
It's
yeah,
that was a
It's crazy money.
it's crazy.
You know,
true?
I don't think he's that good.
no, he's not that good. He's okay. He's not. But City is like United. You know, when United had Chris Smalling and Jones still at the
Yeah,
club, you need a Maguire. You need a Maguire. He's worth 80, he's not worth
true.
80 million. He's worth 50 to 55 million at best. But he's better than what we had, and we are the third best defensive record in the country. 36 goals only. We considered 60 goals last year. So you can see there's a change. But if you want to get to the top level, you need to buy proper players, and United need to. And under Ole, you can see certain changes. Like they don't want players for the money; they're getting rid of players, and that's the way you have to trust in the process. That's the main thing. You have to be positive. So let's talk about the Fantasy Premier League, about your league that you have
Yep.
created. Take it away, Aditya and Shiv.
Shiv, it's all yours, man.
So basically, I was actually introduced to fantasy Premier League football by my friend Aditya, and he first told me about it, and I wasn't so keen. That then I started playing, and then I just fell in love with the game, and then it became like a focal point. We would banter. We would then watch football. watching the games became a lot more fun. And then when I figured out that, oh, how many people actually play fantasy Premier League from all over the world with no financial incentive of any kind, just skill, bragging rights, and just having fun with your friends. So that's when I decided that why don't we take this sort of mutual love that we have for our football and for fantasy Premier League, and uh, just start our little Twitter page. And here we are, the FPL duo. I think it's just a lot of banter. There's a lot of United Arsenal banter that always happens, will happen, and we're just two guys who like to chill out, have our beer, watch football. So here we are, and there's our league code flashing by, guys. So join the FPL Duo Community League and play with us. We will be doing shout outs to managers who are performing well, and follow us on Twitter for a lot of pages. Sorry for a lot of insights, and yeah, that's uh, that's pretty much what the FPL Duo is to me.
So Aditya, you want to talk about your team? Who have you selected?
Uh, well, so when it comes to the team, that's something where Shiv and I have never agreed on. And
Yep.
this year we've decided to go on something. Some we decided this page, and we was like, let's make a team together. Rather than just individually trying to beat each other. Let's try to put our minds together.
Which we're
And
still trying to do, by the way. We're still trying to
honestly,
beat each
yeah,
other. Always.
yeah, but
That's never gonna stop.
that's true. But honestly, you can see that you have your Salah, you have your Yang, the main people in. Um, we're looking at a Werner, we're looking at a Martial, we're looking at an Ings. Uh, so that's a consistent five that we plan to keep for the season. Probably rotate KDB in somehow, or even sort of rotate Bruno in towards like the second game week and first game week once the blanks are done. And we're going pretty light on a defense, but I think so. We decided to go with a different tactic where we go with Robertson instead of Trent. Everyone's going for Trent this season, and he will provide better returns for sure. There's no doubt, but why not? Because that point five does give us the sort of leverage to get someone like a Davies in, or get in the Martial, or get in the Ings. That point five really helps. So let's see. We're still deciding. It's a never ending process, and
True.
there's literally a time where we're like, who to choose, and we're like, okay, let's flip a coin, man. Like that's how it's come down to at certain players. So no idea, man. I
Yep.
can't tell you my team until tomorrow for sure. Because I'll get not decided on who. But Shiv has a very different strategy towards playing this game.
Yeah.
Let's hear it from him.
So I like to go more heavy always on premiums, where I feel Aditya likes to somehow find a cheaper alternative and try and spread that money around the team better, which I feel is fine. There's of course nothing wrong with that. But what I feel is that when I looked at the teams, FPL managers who finished in the top 1K last year, around 30% of their points were actually players who players who they captained. So I really value captaincy, and I feel like if I'm paying anything above 9.5, 10 for a player, I expect captaincy material from that player, and that's how
Yep.
I look to capitalize. That's how I look to prioritize. Because if I have two players who are, let's say, if I have a Ziyech and a Rashford, both of them are really good players. They both will end up giving a lot of points. But why I would still have a Salah and a Saint Maximan over supposing both of them is because I know that week in, week out, more often than not, I can rely on Salah as a captaincy option.
Yeah.
So that's how I prioritize it, and I feel getting captaincy right is sort of half the battle won. But having said that, I feel you got to have a long-term strategy and view. You cannot just chase the points. Uh, Whoever's scoring well this week, you can't just go on trying to buy every player. I feel you got to hold your chips, stick to your strategy, and back players in the medium to long run. I'd say at least 4 to 5 game weeks, you should try and give a player, if not more.
That's a good point. Jay Mayer has commented thoughts on a double Liverpool defense in the Fantasy Premier League. So, what do you think about that, Aditya?
Uh,
That's a good point. I think we have spoken about
Honestly,
this. It's been on our
we have
minds quite a lot.
spoken.
Yeah,
Uh, the thing is, that's about 14.5 million of your
Yeah,
budget just in defense.
correct.
It leaves no room for that third midfielder or third striker, to be very honest. Um, so personally, it I wouldn't go for that. After seeing a team like Arsenal beat Liverpool twice,
Correct.
I don't know.
right.
I really don't know if they'll be defensively as strong as they were the season before. But I
Correct.
think so. The reason why people do consider both of these guys are, I think so, they're more of attacking midfielders, wing backs that you consider with the assist and the sort of cheeky goals that they're given once in a while. So if you're basically in another way also spending 14.5 on two midfielders who
Midfielders.
might
Yeah,
give you the clean sheet potentials, as well as gives you those extra points in terms of the assist and the goals. And more or less, they usually one of them is usually always on the bonus point. Either one or two bonus points you see Trent or Robertson getting for sure every game. So it's a good thing. It's a gamble. I would probably go on to that. Maybe if I see Klopp's defense strengthening their loose ends that they had towards the end of the season. Um, Not sure, man. It's a very iffy situation. Probably in 3 or 4 game weeks is where you could really judge and say if we'd like them both in. So
Shiv, you want to add anything on that?
yeah. I feel that Liverpool's opening fixtures aren't the best, and given the difficulties that they had towards the end of last season, where they were really struggling for clean sheets and not really looking defensively solid. I would keep that as a wait and watch option for me because this season we have got a lot of attacking midfielders in the likes of Pulisic, uh, Ziyech, and even now, of course, Havertz coming into Chelsea. So at just zero point 0.5 to about 1 million more, you can get a lot of goals, attacking returns. So it has become a lot harder now to actually justify a double up in the Liverpool defense. So that's where I'm at, but it's still a wait and watch. If they start off well, if they are keeping the clean sheets, then for sure, why not?
Yeah, that's a good point. But with Liverpool, they were very shaky towards the end of the season, so you don't know if they're going to be strong now.
Yeah,
Man City will be on the attack. Chelsea will be on the attack. Like they would want to win because with Chelsea, the players they have signed, it's unreal.
yeah,
But they will take some time to adapt also. People are not thinking about that. People are thinking, oh, they'll win. They can't win. You need some time to adapt. If they take 2 3 months, they might lose the race in the Champions League spot or for the title. And that's why United, I would give United that extra edge because most of the squad is the same. 2 3
yeah,
additions is fine. Van der Beek will take some time. Sancho will come. He'll take some time. But because of Greenwood scoring goals, so he knows how the Premier League is.
yeah.
I would give United that edge because of experience. So that's my take on it. Karan Shinoy has said Arsenal suck. I'm not going to deny that.
Man, honestly, this guy, Karan Shenoy, he's the guy who introduced me to FPL. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think so this page would be there because I introduced Shiv.
Yeah,
So that's why I think, man, that's what I love about this community. It's like once you get in, you want more and more people to get in. And it's all about the banter. With Karan, he's a big United fan, just like the both of you. And there's always that banter between United Arsenal, and then you take more banter onto the FPL team sheets on the FPL leagues. So that's what this whole page, this community is all about. And it's more of taking those WhatsApp conversations or those phone calls uh, to a handle, to a page where we can reach to a larger audience and engage with them, and get more people on the side of Arsenal, get more people on the United side. So, uh, I mean, you can say all you want, man, but we did beat you this year in Jan, right? I hope you
Yeah,
guys don't
we
forget
have.
that.
We lost. But one last question before we end the stream.
Sure.
Me and Shiva United fans. You're an Arsenal fan. Arsenal United rivalry when Arsenal, Wenger, and Ferguson were there. Is that the best rivalry we have ever had? Because Liverpool City are dominating the league, but I don't think they can reach that level.
Yeah, that's a fair point, man. For anyone who's seen football during those years, I think the all red Arsenal United uh, rivalry was definitely at its peak. It was a very epic rivalry, and they were always very high scoring matches. There was never a very defensive or a very strategic 1-0 or a 2-1 kind of a match. Uh, it used to get rough, it used to get physical, quite a few red cards, lots of goals, lots of drama. Of course, those were, and then of course, I would have to sneak in. There was a very amazing 8-2
Oh
victory, which I
man.
recently saw the highlights of, and I had to send it to Aditya. So thanks for bringing that up. I will definitely send you that link so that you can revisit some of those old memories.
No, but I don't want to banter Aditya, but Aditya, the Arsenal won the league at United 2002. That's the biggest statement you can ever make in terms of like beating a rival. But the intensity of the rivalry was so different because the midfield was led by Roy Keane from our side and Patrick Vieira from yours. How important were those two characters in each team for me? For you, sorry.
I mean, obviously they were the face of Arsenal and United. Whatever said and done, you see clips, you see they would actually go face to face. I mean, they were just literally one punch away from making it a more dramatic game.
Yeah,
Uh, but I mean, uh, a lot of people go back, and I've seen a lot of fans, Arsenal fans, especially go back. Oh, we were the Invincibles. I mean, to be honest, football's a changed game now.
Yeah,
It's a changed era. It's very money dominated. I mean, you can. I don't. I mean, quality of the players do matter, but it's only if you have the money to get them. So that's where I feel with the change in managers over the last few years, the rivalry has dropped. I mean, significantly compared to what it was before. You can see the big spenders like City obviously bringing up their rivalry, and I mean, I hope to see some good games this season. I feel that the one thing that I like about the current generation of football is the managers that have come in. You have Ole, you have Lampard, you have Arteta, you have Pirlo coming in at Juventus. So it's like these guys who we've seen play while we grow up now come and managing. So that's something I would like to see. I mean, I hope they bring that rivalry back. Because these guys actually understand the essence of the club, the values of the club. So hopefully, man, let's see what happens. I mean,
yeah.
I'm 100% sure we'll beat United this year. I mean, we beat
as
No, no,
always.
Liverpool.
no,
Come
no,
on, we beat
no.
Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Yeah, I mean,
United
United
also.
just like, huh?
You have beaten United, but honestly, like you have beaten all the top four clubs. You lost to Tottenham. Shocking game. I saw that game. But
Yep,
coming eighth this season, losing to very low teams like Newcastle and Brighton. Brighton's game I saw,
Was
and
one
I
of the
was
worst matches I've seen.
that's
no,
it. I
It
agree,
was
man. I
horrible.
agree.
no, because I was seeing
I
the
agree.
Arsenal Fan TV's live stream, or that was my commentary, and I'm seeing the match, and they mentioned the score, and when it happened on screen, you can't believe it because what's happened to Arsenal with Arteta? I can see there's some change, but with Arsenal's squad, there has been some. There needs to be some changes, because with Willian, with Aubameyang, with Lacazette has been gone. He just recently came out now, but
True.
for a 50 million player, Daniel James has been better than
Yeah,
Pepe. That's the reality.
So okay. So this is where the problem I've seen with Arsenal is right now is that you put him in a one-off game. I think
Yeah,
so under Arteta, they know how to win those 90 minutes or probably 180 minutes if they once they play in the Europa League. But what I want to see from Arteta is how he's going to manage playing 38 game weeks. That's
correct.
that's the key that managers need to get right. I mean, there are some managers who struggle to play only those 90 minutes, as we know, and there's some managers who can play only those 90 minutes. So uh, we had some very bad losses, no doubt, but I mean, That's the journey of an Arsenal fan. To be honest, the last few years have just been these losses, and I have nothing to say, man. Honestly, I mean, I love the club, I support the club, but it's a very bad situation sometimes. When you lose to a team like Brighton, Spurs, I still understand. To a certain extent, they're not a mid-table team, but let's see, man. Let's see this season. I have good hopes. Honestly, every season I start with hoping that Arsenal's going to win it, but it's just been disappointing, honestly.
Aditya, someone has asked you. Sorry, Shiv. Sorry, Shiv. What's your input on the future of United or on Arsenal, both?
I think the future looks good, definitely. United, as I said before, we seem like we've got a good settled squad, and I just want to see progress now. I don't want to see us regressing, and I don't want to see manager player conflicts happening. That's a modern trend in football where the manager loses the team. So I like the fact that the players support Ollie, they like him, and I don't see that happening. Hopefully, touch wood. So I feel a few signings, as I think you had also pointed out, defensively, we need a few more solid signings at the back. But I like the attack. I think it's like the United of old. I just see goals and pace down the flanks, and you've got Pogba and Bruno as your playmakers. So not too much to complain, honestly. I think the future does look bright, and quote unquote, as I said before, in the next 1 or 2 seasons, if not this one, next one for sure, we will be back on that winners podium, and we'll be getting drunk and singing "Glory, Glory, Man United." So
We
that's
hope
the
that.
future I see.
Yeah. Divya has again commented. He's asked this question to Aditya: how is the game going to change during COVID times when crowds are a minimum?
Um, I mean, we did witness a few games the last few weeks. Uh, it was You could see the intensity wasn't the same. I mean, when players do score a goal, I mean, scoring at the Emirates or scoring at Old Trafford, the fans cheering and sort of getting behind the players to get another goal. So that is not going to be there. But I
He's
mean,
asking.
honestly, as long as we get to watch football,
He's asking.
that's the most important thing.
Sorry to interrupt. He's asking like the attack, like how the attacking force would be. Is it changed because of no crowds?
It has. I mean, you do see players not motivated enough or not really, there's no one to push them other than the manager.
Correct.
Sometimes you need the cheers, you need those boos to really like, get that rush in you. But man, honestly, I just say as long as there's football coming every week, I'm happy.
True.
Whether
Yeah,
it's
man.
whether it's a 1-0 game or a 5-0 game, I'm just happy with football week in and week out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of the COVID situation now, we need some distraction, and football is the best distraction ever. You know.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
hope
it
for
For
just
that.
sure.
fixes your weekends.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does make your weekends.
It
Even if you
really
lose
does.
or win,
Yeah.
like if,
At least
if
your
Arsenal,
weekends are sorted.
if Arsenal lose, I'm going to Arsenal fan TV like the next day. My whole day is covered. You know.
Oh
And
yeah, man.
if,
That's a very entertaining channel. We
but
all
if
watch
United
that.
lose, there's United stand also like
Yeah.
going crazy on players. So that's football for all of us. And thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Thank you, Shiv. Thank you,
Yeah.
Aditya. That's
Thank
the
you
time
so
we
much.
have, guys. So please follow their channel. Sorry, their page on Twitter, which is called FBL Duo. The code is already mentioned during the chat. Thank you, guys. Take care. God bless, and see
Thank you
you.
so
And
much,
glory, glory,
guys.
Man United.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Come on, you Gunners. Take care, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
John.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.